The title of the course is Group Survival. I chose this topic because it's related to teamwork. I previously taught an education administration and leadership course in which group dynamics were discussed, and I was able to revisit the topic while completing my MBA program. This topic is important because no one works alone. Everyone at some point is part of a group. However, group dynamics are not typically addressed in the workplace, nor are strategies given to group members on how to survive in a group, especially during the storming phase. I believe job dissatisfaction and workplace tension occurs during the storming phase, and it contributes to turnover. By presenting a course about group dynamics with survival strategies for group members and leaders, employees can understand what is happening to them as they join groups and have the tools to cope effectively. Unit 1 of the course focuses on Kuckman's model of group development. One of the objectives of Unit 1 is to describe the types of interactions that are present within each stage of Kuckman's model of group development. Forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning are the 5 stages of Kuckman's model of group development. When there are new hires in a workplace, when people are added to an existing group, when people who have never worked together are placed in a group, they are in the forming stage. During the forming stage, everyone is getting to know each other. Alliances may be formed. Sometimes even cliques are formed between people who already know each other. The group is learning the rules and protocols. According to Alan Glasgow's article, How to Move the Group Through the Stages of Group Development, leaders can assist in the forming stage by being specific regarding the purpose of the work, the goals, their expectations, and the roles of each group member. The rules and protocols should be discussed. Using ice-breaking activities can also help in the getting to know you phase. Group members should ask questions for clarification. Although it is tempting to gravitate toward familiar faces, efforts should be made to meet someone new. Members of the group who were silent during the forming stage may become more vocal during the storming stage. Interactions may even become contentious as individuals vie for dominance. In response, some members may withdraw and choose not to participate to avoid conflict. This stage can be marked by challenges to the rules and protocols. Unfortunately, some groups revert back to storming stage during the group development cycle or have difficulties moving out of the storming stage. This stage can lead to feelings of frustration and dissatisfaction because progress toward completing the team's goals is being delayed. Leaders should clarify misunderstandings, review the rules and protocols, engage in one-on-one discussions with team members, and mediate conflicts during the storming stage, according to Michael Hinman's article, Solving Group Dysfunction, How to Move Your Group from Storming to Performing. Members should seek clarification of the team's goals, practice active listening to explore ideas, and practice balanced participation to avoid monopolizing the discussion, as noted in the team handbook by Peter Schultz, Brian Joyner, and Barbara Streibel. Once the group moves from the storming stage, work can be done. In the norming stage, the group has come together and are familiar with each other's working styles, strengths, and weaknesses. Group members are following the agreed-upon protocols. Leaders should give feedback to both individuals and the group during the norming stage. Leaders and members should be aware of the group norms at this stage and try not to rock the boat. For example, if everyone is using blue to indicate that a task is on track, don't all of a sudden decide to switch to green. At this point of the presentation, we will pause for a learning check in order to gauge your understanding thus far. Here's the scenario. Mabel notices that Nan is talking over the others. and Sue insists that her way of doing things is better. Which stage of Kuckman's model is Mabel observing? The answer is storming. The group has not yet learned to work together. Let's begin again with the fourth stage of Kuckman's model, performing. When the group reaches the performing stage, the group achieves success in accomplishing its goals. The group is also self-regulating and cohesive. Leaders can facilitate the group during the performing stage by delegating more responsibilities, assisting members in working through differences, and providing feedback. Members should recognize each other's strengths and weaknesses and continue to work toward achieving team goals. In the original model, performing was the final stage. Kuckman later added adjourning. During the adjourning stage, the group disbands. Someone may have moved on to another job, been promoted to another position, transferred to another department, or have returned to their own departments after a project or task has been completed. Others. Contract workers may feel employment insecurity if they are not assigned to another group. Groups working on projects sometimes have celebration and recognition ceremonies. During the adjourning stage, it is important for leaders to provide closure. Lessons learned can also be discussed. Successes should be celebrated. Efforts should be made to reassign contract workers to other groups. Glasgow suggests that members should also acknowledge each other's efforts and wish each other well. Let's pause again for a learning check. Our friend Mabel notices that everyone is working well together and is following the agreed-upon protocols. Which stage of Kuckman's model is Mabel observing? The answer is norming. The group has learned to work together. The major takeaways from this presentation is to recognize the stages of group formation and to use survival strategies to inform your reactions. As I conclude my presentation, I'll leave you with 2 questions for self-reflection. Question 1. Choose one of the stages of group formation and describe a successful experience that you had during that stage. What contributed to the group's success? Question 2. Choose one of the stages of group formation that did not go well for you in the past. What could have been done differently? And I also have a reminder for you. Take the Unit 1 quiz.